And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen, and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness.
He's in the street shooting down black ladies. Glory, hallelujah for the young and the innocent. Yeah, run for your liar. The time has come for us to strengthen and defend. Hey, Babylon, you know it won't be long. Oh, and we'll be going back to Zion. So we're leaving Babylon and going back to Zion. We're leaving Babylon, yo, going back to Zion. Yeah, we
From all your idols will I cleanse you, and a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh.
You know, I never let the devil get the best of me. Yeah, I saw the preacher taking nickels from the welfare babies. Oh, daddy, oh, the young and the innocent. Yeah, yeah. Protect the riot, reject the wrong. It wasn't my sense. Hey, Babylon, you know it won't be long. Whoa, and you'll be going back to Zion. So we're leaving Babylon, going back to Zion. Yeah, we're leaving Babylon, yo. Yeah. Going back to Zion. Yeah, we are.
And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes. And ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God.
Goodness gracious, God have mercy. Sing it, yo.
I will also save you from all your uncleannesses, and I will call for the corn, and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree, and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. Then shall you remember your own evil ways, and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. Not for your sakes do I this, saith the Lord God, be it known unto you. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel.
All right, Shalom. Y'all let me know if the sound is good. I was getting sound on my end. To make sure everybody else getting sound. Okay, kind. All right, so let's get into it. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. And what I wanted to get into, okay, this morning is dealing with, understanding tithes and priestly responsibilities. Okay, how things went from, the carnal to spiritual, and also how, things apply today. Okay, we're going to the origin of what we know is tithes. Okay, because amongst the Christian church, okay, they'll tell you the law is done away with, but they still tithe, which is a law. Okay, and we're gonna go to an origin of these things, and then you have different things that happening, with men pretty much abusing, okay, tithes, okay, pretty much using this as a come up, all right, and that's why, as believers, all right, you brothers and you sisters that's listening, all right, be very mindful, who you're listening to, you know, pay attention, all right, to things, all right, in the spirit, inconsistencies and things that are off. You gotta pay attention to those things, man, because that's the spirit. The spirit reveals things, gradually, and eventually the whole picture is painted. So just be mindful, you know, who you're listening to, okay, and especially who you're giving to. Now at the end of the day, you can do what you want to do. you know, we can't, force anything. We don't control anyone's bank accounts. Okay, everybody is adults. So at the end of the day, you can do what you want to do. But what I want to do is, through the spirit, it just go into the origin, of these things, and get a good, thorough understanding, of tithes and the purpose of the tithes. Okay, and also the priestly, responsibilities. Okay, now let's go here. Let's go here and get the blue letter, and we'll start here in Proverbs. Okay, I want to get this too real quick. Let's see. List a little bit. So let's go here to the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. And it says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. So as we, gain the wisdom of knowing who we are, okay, understand, knowing about the tribes and, knowing the names of our power, okay, then we level up and get understanding, okay, and the origin of the things that we believe, you know, and the things that we're a part of, because this is our life, and we should have, we should continue growing understanding of what we're a part of, what our role is, what our duty is, okay, and how things relate to the righteousness of the scriptures. Now, um, uh, I want to start here in the book of Numbers, okay, 18. All right, and this is the origin, okay, of the tithes, all right, that we know today. Most I set this up. Now, when you go to Numbers 18, what does it say? It says the duties of the Levites. And it says, and the Lord said unto Aaron, all right, Numbers 18:1, thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary and thou and thy sons with thee shall bear with the iniquity of your priesthood. Okay, so he's giving him the responsibilities before tithes, all right, are put in place. He's giving responsibilities. Okay, Aaron and his sons, all right, in the tribe of Levi are given responsibility. Okay, you read in NLT, all right, it says, this is Numbers 18:1. It said, then the Lord said to Aaron, you, your sons, and your relatives from the tribe of Levi will be held responsible for any offenses related to the sanctuary. See, this was a duty and a responsibility. Okay, they weren't just chilling. Okay, it says, but you and your sons alone will be held responsible for violations connected with the priesthood. Okay, so the Most High is setting the standard for the priests. Okay, verse 2, and it says, and thy brethren also, the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle, okay, of witness, and they shall keep thy charge and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall not come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die. And they shall be joined unto thee, okay, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation for all the service of the tabernacle, and the stranger shall not come nigh, and ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel, because there was duties that had to be performed continually. Okay, there was duties that had to be continually performed. All right, within the tabernacle. See, the priesthood was a perpetual office. Okay, it was perpetual labor. All right, of the Levites. You know, there's a certain way that the tabernacle had to be taken down, okay, and transported as um, our people, would travel through the wilderness, okay. There was certain, okay, ways that it had to be set back up. It was a very, all right, tedious, office, okay. It was a very tedious office, so it required much attention. So the Levites, they couldn't work like everyone else. Okay, they couldn't be farmers and carpenters. No, their whole duty, all right, was the office of the priesthood. Okay, which entailed a lot. That's why it took a whole tribe of men, okay, to do it. You see, and take shifts doing it, man. All right, um, it says, and I behold, I have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel to you. They are given as a gift for the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Therefore, thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest office for everything of the altar and within the veil, and ye shall serve. Okay, I have given you your priest office unto you as a service of gift, and the stranger that cometh not shall be put to death. Because when you go to, I have this study Bible, all right, and it gives commentary on those first 7 verses. All right, this is the Nelson, all right, study Bible, all right, the King James Nelson study Bible. All right, and this is a commentary for Numbers 18, 1 through 7. It said, this portion contains the Most High reply to a frightened call of the people. It said it is given directly to Aaron as opposed to Moses previously. The Most High provided the priests and the Levites to guard the tabernacle against unauthorized persons trespassing. Anybody couldn't just come up to the temple, in the temple, okay. That was the Levites. It was restricted to the Levites. Okay. And that's why, when Yahweh came on the scene, you had the Pharisees, all right, the priesthood, okay, the Levitical priesthood at the time of Yahweh, they were so offended because these were particular laws, okay, that look, you can't just, if you're not of the Levitical priesthood, you can't come, okay, into the tabernacle, okay, you can't do particular things, you see. But Yahweh Shah was setting on what? The priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, okay, which was in the scriptures to happen. But Jake was offended, and we're going to get into, why? Because the priesthood became very corrupt, okay? And it says, um, the phrase bear the iniquity of the sanctuary indicates the Levites' responsibility to guard against any misuse of the tabernacle or its furnishing, okay, furnishings on penalties of the Most High severe punishment, okay? So anybody couldn't just come okay around in the temple, just go in there and grabbing vessels, and like it's a museum. You see, nah, it wasn't happening, man. Okay, you had to be authorized, man, and the Most High authorized Aaron and his sons, okay, and the tribe of Levi as a whole to have the office of priesthood, because the high priest would come through Aaron, okay, and the highest office of the priesthood would be through Aaron's sons. And then you have the rest of the Levites under them in their order. Okay, verse 8, it says, and the Lord spake unto Aaron, behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to thy sons for ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most holy thing reserved from fire, every oblation of theirs, every meat offerings of theirs, and every sin offerings of theirs, and every trespass offerings of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and thy sons. So let's get it in the NLT. So the Lord now is setting up provisions once he lays down the responsibilities and duties which will occupy all the time. Okay, the priest was always occupied in this, man. Okay, now you will have shifts. They will have downtime. They will have families, but they job, like you have blacksmiths, like I said, carpenters and farmers, you know, all these different things that run the nation. Well, the priesthood, okay, their office was to serve Yahweh by Shema Shai, because they were the mediator between the Most High and Israel, okay? And what they would do, they would keep their spiritual connection strong by doing the service, okay, of the priesthood. Okay, so since they're occupied in it, the Most High is now starting to lay down provisions for them so they didn't have to toil and be worried with trying, all right, to labor to survive. Okay, everything will be provided for them. All right, now this is NLT, um, Numbers 18:9 says, you are allotted the portion of the most holy offerings that is not burned on the fire. Okay, so the things that didn't get burned, okay, that meat will go to the priests and their sons. All right, that was pretty much their daily, all right, their daily, okay, victuals. Okay, that's how they would eat. It said this portion of all the most holy offerings, including the grain offerings, sin offerings, guilt offerings, will be most holy, and it belongs to you and your sons. Okay, so as we read down, let's read down to verse 10. It says, in the most holy place shall thou eat, every male shall eat it, it shall be holy unto thee. And this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offering of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee. All right, because their families, will eat off this, man. The priests had families, you know, so they will have, sons and daughters, okay? and provisions were made for their sons and daughters, man. Okay? And it says, I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee, all right, by statute forever, ever, every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. Okay? All the best oil and all the best of wine and all the wheat and the first fruits of them which they shall offer unto the Lord, them have I given thee. So the priest will have the best of the oil, the best of the wine, the wheat, the first fruits, okay, those offered to the Lord. The Lord, all right, would transfer that to the priest. You see, because the tithes, because the church will preach as if the tithes are being put on the elevator and going, to the heavens. Okay, no, the tithes went to the priest. The Most High don't need no, need no oil or no wine. Okay, those things went to the priesthood because of their office. It was a continual, okay, continual work. You see, it says verse 18. It says, and whatsoever is the first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Okay, so the Levites will receive a lot. Okay, it was a lot of it was a lot of revenue or traffic of resources that will flow through the priesthood. Okay, and we're going to show you that the priesthood was supposed to manage that money. The priesthood was like the treasury, the bankers as well. There was lawyers in the law. Okay, and there was also bankers of the treasury as well. Okay, but you know what happened? Jake became corrupted. All right, what we're going to get, but we're just showing you the flow of goods that was just flowing into the priesthood. Okay, it says everything that opened in the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of man or beast, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shalt thou surely redeem, and the firstling of unclean beasts shalt thou redeem. Now, you have here that the Lord, the firstborn of everything, belong, okay, to the priest. You see, firstborn of the flock, even the firstborn, okay, male, okay, but the firstborn men were redeemed. You had to give the priesthood, okay, money to redeem your firstborn son. And let's get it in the NLT. Okay. All right. Now this is the NLT. Numbers 18 and 15 said the firstborn of every mother, whether human or animal, that is offered to the Lord will be yours. But you must always redeem your firstborn sons, okay, and the firstborn of the ceremonial unclean animals, okay? So you will redeem your sons, okay, and of the unclean animals, will be redeemed. But you will redeem your sons back, okay? And there was a price on that. So the Most High, as long as the priesthood, okay, was performing their duties, okay, in truth and sincerity, they was well taken care of, man. Okay, them and their families. You see, but then they still were responsible, okay, over the treasury. All right, for who? The widows. All right, and the fatherless, man. You see, see, this is the tithes went into a nation, a functioning nation. We was a functioning nation. We had sovereignty. Okay. Now, verse 16 and says, and those that are to be redeemed from a month old shalt thou redeem according to thine estimation for the money of 5 shekels after the shekels of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. Now, imagine every male born in Israel, there had to be they had to be redeemed with 5 shekels. So that's 5 shekels for every firstborn male of Israel. Okay, the Most High had a lot of cash flow. Okay, coming through the priesthood. Okay, it said, but the firstling of a cow and the firstling of a sheep and the firstling of a goat, thou shalt not redeem. They are holy. Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shalt burn their fat for offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the flesh of them, all right, shall be thine, as the wave breast, as the right shoulder are thine. Okay, so there were particular parts of the meat, okay, that came out the firstborn that the priesthood, would be able to eat off of them and their families. It says, in the heat offering of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Lord have I given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee by a statute forever. It is a covenant salt forever before the Lord unto thee and thy seed with thee. And then you go to salt, you know, um, that's also where you get that word salary from, because even the Roman Empire, they would pay, particular people in salt, you know, and that's what I said, you get that word salary. So the Most High is pretty much setting up the salary for the priesthood, okay? Um, let's see. See if I can find it. Going to that word, see if it give us something. Salary. All right, now this is the definition of salary on Etim Online. All right, this is the word salary on etymology online, and it says, in fact, let's see if I can pull it up just so we can see it on the screen. Make it a favorite. Yep. So let's get this word salary. All right. So let's get this word salary. Just so we can see it. This new laptop pretty quick. Get some things done. But so here you have the word salary. All right, let me blow it up a little bit. All right, so you go to salary. It says salary, a composition payment, whether periodical for regular service or for specific service. All right, from old French salaria, wages, pay, reward, okay, an allowance, a stipend, or a pension, said to be originally salt money. You see that? Said to be originally salt money, okay, which was a soldier's allowance for the purchase of salt, okay. So the Most High made a salt covenant, and you go to the word salary, it came from, men actually being paid in salt, okay. You see, and I hope this is making sense. Is it making sense so far? Are we good? Do we need to go back? Let me know if it's making sense, so far, dealing with the priesthood. Okay. Let me know, make sure we all good and got to understand it. All right, thus far. So let's go back to Numbers 18. All right, this is And we left off at 16, 18, okay, 19. All right, let's pick back up at 19. It says, all the heave offerings of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Lord have I given thee and thy sons and thy daughters with thee by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt, all right, forever before the Lord unto thee and thy seed with thee. Now I want to get this account real quick as well. This is in First Samuel, because Samuel was pretty much offered unto the priesthood. You know, his mother, um, Hannah, all right, she wanted a child. You know, she she wanted a male child. You know, and she vowed, to give, her firstborn unto the priesthood. She didn't redeem it. She didn't pay the shekels to redeem, you know, her son. She gave Samuel to the priesthood. Okay, that's why Samuel, Samuel, you could tell he was probably extremely thorough. Okay, being given to the priesthood at such a young age. And we're going to go into it. So this is First Samuel 1:9. So Hannah rose up after they eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post at the temple of the Lord. And we're going to go into this later too. Remember this, you know. I might get you brothers to post this. First Samuel 1:9. Eli was, as a matter of fact, yeah, it says, so Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord Yahweh, and she was in bitterness of soul and prayed unto the Lord and wept sore. Okay, because she was barren, she couldn't conceive. All right, it says, and she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thy handmaid and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but would give unto thy handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come, all right, upon his head. Okay. She vowed, to give her firstborn unto the Lord. It says, and it came to pass as she continued praying before the Lord that Eli marked, all right, her mouth. Now Hannah, all right, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore, Eli thought she had been drunken. you know, Eli, drunk. It says, and Eli said unto her, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine, all right, from thee. And Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunken neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli answered and said, go in peace, and the power of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. Okay, so he pretty much, Eli was the mediator of that blessing that was going to come, okay, unto Hannah. All right, to Hannah. Okay, because he was what? The priest. Okay, he was the high priest of the time. And he said, let thy handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. And they rose up in the morning early and worshiped before the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai, and returned and came to their house in Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife. Okay, he dealt with his wife that night, and the Lord remembered her, and the Lord blessed their union. Okay, wherefore it came to pass when the time was come out for her, not after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son and called his name Samuel, which goes into affliction heard. You know, Shema Allah. Shema going and to herd, herd of the Most High, you know. And it says, saying, because I, well, it goes into herd of the Most High, Simeon, all right, Shema 1 is affliction heard, but Samuel is herd of the Most High, Shema Allah, you know. It says, saying, because I have asked him of the Lord, and the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah their yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then will I bring him that he may appear before the Lord and there abide forever. Okay? And Elkanah, her husband, said unto her, do what seemeth, all right, do what seemeth thee good. So he signed off on it. Like, okay, that's the play. It said, tarry until thou have weaned him. Only the Lord established his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she was weaned. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks upon ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. Okay. So Samuel's small, probably 3, you know, 2, 2, 3, and that's gonna, man, I can't wait to see like everything play out, man. Like certain things that we read, we just get to see it like most I show us in the movie. Certain things just playing out, man. You can see, this young child Samuel, being took to, the elder priest. He walking, young, don't know what's going on, but he's being brought. And he has no clue what the Lord, has in store for him, man. This is my favorite part of the Bible as far as the history. When you go from First Samuel and you read all the way up to Solomon, that's a very interesting history that I like to read about. But man, you know it's gonna be beautiful to see these things, man. Like Apostle Gabar say, you gotta envision these things, you know. So Samuel is pretty much being led, to the priest, and it says, and they slew a bullock and brought the child to Eli, and she said, "O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I pray, and the Lord hath given me my petition, which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord." And he worshiped the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai there. So you can imagine just how thorough Samuel was, you know, being around those priests for so long, as a 2 or 3 year old, you know, I don't know the age exactly, he was young, I can't put a number on it, but he was real young. Okay. So going back to Numbers 18, but like I said, she didn't redeem, her firstborn. Usually you'll give the 5 shekels and redeem your firstborn, but she offered it, because she had made that vow. And then she later had, other sons and daughters. The Lord blessed her with more sons and daughters, after Samuel. Well, we know Samuel had a major portion. Like that was one of the Most High's favorites, you know. That's why he had it in Jeremiah. He said, though Moses and Samuel stand before me, I will not be for this people. you know. As though Samuel, one of his favorites, you know. This Numbers 18:20, and it says, and the Lord spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in the land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. Like now, all your attention, okay, and your energy comes to me. I'm gonna take care. Don't worry about anything else. You're gonna be well provided for, but all your attention all right, comes to me. Okay, it's Numbers 18 and 21. And it says, and behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth, okay, the tenth in Israel, okay, for an inheritance. All right. So that word tenth is where you get that tithe. So this is the tithe being established. Okay. Let's see. Get what's that in. So let's look at it on the Adam online. So when you look at it on the Adam online, that word, all right, tithe. Okay, and what it say? A tenth part, due as a support of the clergy. All right, tenth. Okay, 10. You see? So this is where tithe is being established. Okay, tithe to pay 1/10. Okay, you see that? So this is what the Lord is setting up the tithes, but it was a part of the priestly salary. Okay. Um, so let's go back to Numbers. Hold on. So this is back in Numbers 18 and 21. It says, and behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levite shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance, but the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as an offering unto the Lord, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore, I have said unto them, among the children of Israel, they shall have no inheritance. Okay, so now we see establishing the tithes and what they was for, what they was for. Okay, it was for the priesthood, because they had such a tedious and time-consuming duty of the temple. Okay, and it was a very important duty. Okay, it kept the relationship strong between the children of Israel and the Most High. Okay, that's why you had the Day of Atonement. You see, that was a service. Okay, through the high priest. Okay, for atonement of sin. Okay, so the Lord will be appeased, you know, for the sins of Israel. Okay, well, there's so many, topics we can go into, but I'm just keep it on the tithes, you know. Um, this should be easy, in the spirit. Brother should have a lot of spin-off, videos off of this one. They're looking for a topic. There's so much to go into dealing with that. But now, as the Lord set the standard for the priest, okay, what eventually happened is what Jake will become corrupt. Now, before we deal with the corruption, let's deal with an example of a high priest doing the right thing, which we find that in, let's get that in First Maccabees, and we're going to read this account, read through it. I think Second Maccabees. All right, it's the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 3. All right, this second Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "Now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace, and the laws were kept very well because of the goodliness of Onias, the high priest, and his hatred of wickedness." You see that? That's a standard of a high priest. A good high priest was his hatred for wickedness, man. Okay, but you have Jake trying to accept everything. Like when you go into Nate, what he was talking about dealing with, you know, the secret disciples, the celebrity secret disciples that they should just fall back and just tithe and give offerings. But them niggas is wicked, man. Okay, Kodak Black, Kyrie, them niggas is wicked, man. Okay, they're not believers. Okay, them niggas can keep their money, but now if Nate pimp them guys, that's on that's their situation. Tithes ain't wicked. You should tithe to those that are laboring, but see, the people laboring are held to a standard. The priests that are laboring are held to a standard, and we're going to get an example, okay, of a right standard of a high priest, and then we're going to go into the corrupt. You see, and it says it came to pass that even the kings themselves did honor the place and magnify the temple with their best gifts. So you even had heathens, okay, sending gifts to the temple. All right, under Ananias, okay, because the scriptures say that in Proverbs, a brother can find it. If a man's way please the Lord, he will make even his enemies, be at peace with him. I think that's in Proverbs. Mm, Yeah, Proverbs 16:7. Yeah, Proverbs 16. I'll just read it real quick. Proverbs 16:7, and says, "When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him." Okay, and see what you're gonna have, because Ananias' brother Jason, okay, that's the wicked nigga we read about in Maccabees. You gotta understand. So you have these wicked, niggas. They're seeing, how Ananias, is looked at in high regards. All these gifts and revenue is coming into, the temple. Okay, but you're supposed to be a good steward of that revenue. What you gonna go into? What you gonna go into it? Okay, but you had wicked niggas on the sideline. Okay, like damn, it's a lot. A nigga would be damn. It's a lot of revenue coming in. Okay, it says, in so much that Solutions King of Asia, all right, of his own revenues, bear all the costs belonging to the service of the sacrifices. Okay, but one Simon of the tribe of Benjamin, who was made governor, all right, of the temple, fell out with the high priest about disorder in the city. All right, and what happened was Ananias was on their ass for allowing their Greek shit, man. Okay, he was on their ass. You see, nigga got offended, nigga was hurt, and this what nigga went and did. It says, and when he could not overcome Onias, he got him to Apollonius, the son of Thrasus, who then was governor of Seleucia and Phoenice, and told him that the treasure in Jerusalem was full of infinite sums of money, so that the multitude of the riches which did not pertain to the account of the sacrifices was innumerable, and that it was possible to bring all into the king's hand. So he went and told the Edomites, like, look, the temple is full. Like, even after they do the sacrifices, the budget for the sacrifice, they got plenty of money left over. You know, this whole ass nigga, man. But them niggas here today. Okay, it says, now when Apollonius came to the king, and he had showed him of the money. Well, he was told, the king chose out Helidorius, his treasurer, and sent him with a commandment to bring him the foresaid money. So forthwith Helidorius took his journey unto a color, all right, of visiting the cities of Seleucia and Phoenice, but indeed to fulfill the king's purpose. And when he was come to Jerusalem and had been courteously received of the high priest of the city, he told him what intelligence was given of the money and declared wherefore he came and asked if these were so indeed. Then the high priest told him that there was such money laid up for the relief of widows and fatherless children. So Ananias, all the extra money that was coming in, he was putting it up in the treasury in the temple, okay, for relief for the widows and the fatherless children. Okay, the priesthood will have, it will be enough coming in to where the priest will be able to live extremely comfortable and still have an access to create a treasury. Because if someone's husband died, the husband, okay, was the breadwinner, the provider, okay, the family. He was the foundation of the family. So when they lost, when the family would take their loss of the man, which was a husband and a father, okay, well, there was enough in the treasury to supplement, okay, those widows, all right, and those fatherless children, their family, man. You see? And it says, and that some of it belonged to Hyrcanus, son of Tobias, a man of great dignity, and not as that wicked Simon, all right, had misinformed. The sum whereof in all were 400 talents of silver and 200, all right, of gold, and that it was altogether impossible that such wrong should be done unto them that had committed it to the holiness of the place and to the, all right, to the, what is this? Some of these words, the 1611 Bible. Hold on. Look what I'm gonna do. I bet you ain't gonna whoop me. Hold on. Uh, yeah, verse 12. Yep, majesty. That's what it is, majesty. It said they had committed to the holiness of the place and to the majesty of the inviolable, all right, um, sanctity of the temple, honored all over the world. But Helidorius, because of the king's commandment given him, said that in any wise it must be brought into the king's treasury. So at that day, so Ananias is pretty much like, nah, this, we got to have this for, the relief, and then you had some of that money that belonged to a Jake that was a great dignity. See, we come from a people of honor, integrity, okay? You see, people, you were rewarded for integrity, man, being righteous. There was a reward for being righteous, man. Not like today where you rewarded for being a goddamn nigga, okay? Or here it is, you singing about, you rapping about abortion, and you're rewarded, in this wicked society, man. Okay, it says, verse 15 said, but the priests prostrating themselves before the altar in their priest vestment, called unto heaven upon him that made a law concerning things given to be kept, which we read that in Numbers 18, and that they should safely be preserved for such as had committed them to be kept. Those who had looked to the high priest in the face, it would have wounded his heart, So Ananias was sick, man. Like, man, then he knowing that it was these niggas. He knew these niggas when they told him that, man. So now he's sick because he care about the people. He like, man, damn, man. So it said, look, if you would have seen, all right, if you would have seen just the look on his face, you know, your countenance would have dropped, man. You know, Ananias would hurt, man. You see? It said, then whoso had looked the high priest in his face, it would have wounded his heart, man. You know, Jake, the widows, everybody was crying. The priest was crying, man. Like, God damn, they seen Ananias, his countenance change, because here it is, he's receiving these men, with charity and gratitude, okay? But then he hear this news, so you see his countenance change, and the people looking like, you know, wicked niggas, man. Okay, it said for his countenance and the changing of his color declared the inward agony of his mind. Okay, because when you truly care about the people, man, their well being, is a high priority, man. Okay, that's why you see men get rebuked. Niggas be hurt. Y'all picking on the nigga. Shut your ass up, nigga. You wicked. Okay, y'all always rebuke us. All you shut your ass up, nigga. You wicked. Okay. And at the end of the day, the Most High has made men overseers over the flock. Okay, and you're gonna be called out, man. All right. It says, um, for the man was so compassed with fear and horror of the body that it was manifest to them that looked upon him what sorrow he had now in his heart. Others ran flocking out of their houses to the general supplication because the place was like to come into contempt. And the women, girt with sackcloth under their breasts, abounded in the streets, and the virgins that were kept in ran, some to the gates and some to the walls, and others, okay, looked out of the windows, and all holding their hands toward heaven made supplication. So now everyone is praying in one accord. It said, then it should have pitied a man to see the falling down of the multitude of all sorts, and the fear of the high priest being in such agony. Then they called upon the Almighty Lord to keep the things committed of trust safe and sure for those who had committed them. Nevertheless, Helidorus executed that which was decreed. Esau don't give a damn. He probably was stepping over Jake, trying to get to the temple. Okay. You know how this nigga is, man. Okay. It says, was now as he was there present himself with his guard about the treasury, the Lord of spirits and the prince of all power caused a great apparition, so that all that presumed to come in with them were astonished at the power of the Most High, and fainted, and were sore afraid. For there appeared unto them a horse with a terrible rider upon him, and ordained with a very fair covering, and he ran fiercely and smote. And this is an angel. Okay, and smote Helidorus with his forefoot, and it seemed that he that sat upon the horse had complete harness of gold. Moreover, two other young men appeared before him, notable in strength, excellent in beauty, and comely in apparel, who stood by him on either side, and scourged him continually, and gave him many sore stripes. So they beating the brakes off Helidorus. Okay. He beating the brakes off his ass. All right. It's either might be getting at work, They you know, it says, and Helidorus fell suddenly unto the ground and was compassed with great darkness. Boy, night. Okay. A world starred his ass. Okay, we were reading a world star moment. Okay. It said, but they that were with him took him up and put him into the litter. Yeah, he did him like who that was, that Red Daddy. He had to pick him up and put him back in the car. All right, I told you about coming around messing with these folks. You see, had to drag that nigga out of there and put him in that chariot. Okay, night, nigga. And it says, you know, it said, thus him that lately came with a great train and with all his guard into the said treasury, they carry out, being unable to help himself with his weapons, and manifestly they acknowledge the power of the Most High. For he by the hand of the Most High was cast down and lay speechless without all hope of life. But they praise the Lord that have miraculously honored his own place, for the temple which a little afore was full of fear and trouble, when the Almighty appeared, was filled with joy and gladness. Okay? So as they was once sad and Ananias was in agony, now the Lord performed a miracle. Why? Because Ananias was doing the right thing, and the people, okay, was in a righteous state, you know? Because you go back to it began with what? The standard. You see? The favor and the perks comes with us keeping what? A standard. It says this is third first it's like second Maccabees chapter 3 verse 1. It says, now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace and the laws were kept very well, because of the godliness of Ananias the high priest and his hatred of wickedness. So the godliness of Ananias, okay, influenced the city Jerusalem in righteousness, was what put them in a position, all right, of favor. And that's why we see this miracle being worked. Okay. And it says, verse 31 said, then straightway certain of Helidor's friends prayed on Ananias that he will call upon the Most High to grant him his life, who lay ready to give up the ghost. Yeah, so he about to die. All right. He beat that boy to death. Okay. It says, so the high priest, suspecting lest the king should misconceive that some treachery had been done to Helidorus by the Jews, offered a sacrifice for the health of the man. So this is the complete balance of Ananias. He's always thinking about the people. He like, well, shit, they gonna think, that it's some type of treachery going on. Them heathens ain't gonna believe that story of the miracle. They gonna be like, shit, nigga, these niggas rebelling. The Jews rebelling. So he's thinking about the well-being of the people in every decision that he's making. Okay. It says, now as the high priest was making the atonement, the same young man in the same clothing appeared and stood beside Helidor, saying, give Ananias the high priest great thanks, and so much for his sake the Lord have granted thee life. So this same angel, okay, that just woke Helidor's ass out, brought him back to life, and said, look, give thanks to Ananias. Okay, he spared your little silly ass day. All right, take that message back to you people. You see, it says, and seeing that thou hast been scourged from heaven, declare unto all men the mighty power, all right, of the Most High. And when they had spoken these words, they appeared no more. So Helidorus, after he had offered sacrifice unto the Lord and made great vows unto him that had saved his life, all right, he got his mind right, and saluted Ananias, returned with the host, all right, to the king. Then testified he to all men the works of the great power which he had seen with his eyes. And when the king asked Helidorus who might be a fit man to be sent yet once again to Jerusalem, he said, if thou hast an enemy or a traitor, send him thither, okay? And thou shalt receive him well scourged, if he escape with his life. For in that place, no doubt, there is a special power of the Most High. Hey, so he like, look, send your enemy or a traitor there. Don't send nobody, okay, talking about they finna go get something. They finna go take something. All right? Don't mess with them folks right now. You send an enemy or traitor there, he gonna come back well scourged. If he come back, like hell no. Okay? They said, for he that dwelleth in heaven have his eye on that place. Okay, because that priesthood represent what? The presence of the Lord in the earth. It says, and defended it, and he he beateth and destroyeth them that come to hurt it, and the things concerning the hell of doors and the keeping of the treasury fell out on this sort. Okay, so so you see that. Yeah, he was done. Yep. So yeah, I hit the door like, look, don't nobody want this smoke, man. Shit. Don't take your ass around that corner, man. Hey, so that was an example. Just wanted to give that example of a righteous priest. Now, what did you have going on? See, the Lord would address the priesthood. Let's get this in Malachi. Okay, it's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 6. Okay, and you see what it says, sin of the priest. Okay, so let's go back. All right, so you go to Malachi chapter 1. Okay, and when you deal with Malachi, this was during the time of rebuilding, okay, of the temple. Let's see, and go to some commentary. Let's get a few little facts around. So we go to all right. So just go into the introduction dealing with Malachi. This is in the Nelson Study Bible. It said Malachi has been called, all right, the Socrates of the prophets because he uses that style, all right, specialist in rhetoric called dialect. All right. It says investigation through discussion and reasoning. The dialect form used in the prophecy became popular teaching style in later Jerusalem. The prophecy is a testimony to the graciousness of the Most High and condensing to answer man's foolish and childish statement. Now he goes into historical setting. It said Malachi is later than Haggai and Zechariah. In those books, the rebuilding of the temple is the concern. We know now from 1 and 7 and 3 and 10 that not only had the temple been finished in Malachi's day, but it had been in use for some time, and sin was corrupting the worship that took place in it. Farther, the book of Malachi must have been written after Nehemiah's first arrival in Jerusalem in the 30 year, in the 32nd year of Artaxerxes, all right, in 444 BC. Probably after the walls had been rebuilt around the city, for Malachi addresses the same sin noted in Nehemiah, the divorcing of um, Israelite wives and marrying heathen women, um, and the failure of the people to bring their gifts to the temple. Okay, Nehemiah was recalled to the Persian court in 433 BC, and another governor who seems to have been a Persian governor was replaced over Palestine. Most likely, Malachi was written just before Nehemiah's second return to Jerusalem or during his presence there. Malachi ministered in support of Nehemiah's ministry, just as Haggai and Zechariah had ministered in support of Ezra and Zerubbabel nearly 100 years earlier. The prophecy was probably written sometime 433 and 425 BC. Okay, now um, when you go into it, okay, you had corruption in the priesthood. All right, and the Lord is pretty much addressing the priest. Okay. Now, now, when you go to Malachi 1:6, it says, "A son honor his father, and a servant his master. If then I be father, where is my honor? And if I be master, where is my fear? Saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name." Wait a minute. Who did that remind you of? Unto you, O priests that despise my name. Okay? Now, hasn't Bishop Nathaniel said that he hasn't met one good Israelite that calls on the name of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai? Okay? Don't he say he cringe at that name? Okay, then they mock the name. Okay, yo play yogurt. You see? Who did they remind you of? And I'm just addressing it. I ain't he just putting the things out there, man. You can do what you want. Okay, like I say, you Israelite men and women are fully capable adults. You can do what you want to do. You can tie it to who you want as much as you want. We're just showing you, okay, the scriptures and the counts. Okay, you take this and make whatever decision you want to make. You know, it says, and ye say, wherein have we despised thy name? It says, ye offer polluted bread upon my altar. Okay, and the polluted bread is when you saying the Most High in Christ bless. When you saying it's okay to take the juice. Okay, when you got ICBK saying what the Jakes, in certain parts of Africa are not Israelites. That's polluted bread. Okay, that they're putting on the altar, man. You see, the MOTB, Solomon had the MOTB. The MOTB is joining the military. All this crazy. The MOTB is an embargo. That's polluted bread. Okay? It says, ye offer polluted bread upon my altar, and you say, wherein have we polluted thee? And that ye say, the table of the Lord is contemptible. Okay? And the word contemptible is despised. Okay, let's get in. Let's see if he give us something in NLT. Okay, this is the NLT. It says, you have shown contempt by offering, okay, defiled sacrifices on my altar. Most High in Christ blesses a defiled sacrifice because the temple is spiritual now. Okay, you see, these congregations, we are the temple now. Okay, so it says they have shown contempt by offering defiled sacrifices on my altar. Then you ask, how have we defiled the sacrifices? You defiled them by saying, all right, the altar of the Lord Yahweh deserves no respect. If you can't call on the name of the Lord, you're saying, well, those they don't deserve any respect. If the name of the Lord, his true name of the Heavenly Father and his Son, is no big deal to you, you saying what? They don't deserve no respect. If you don't mind saying that those, all right, Israelites in Africa, talking about they're Hamites, okay, you saying that, look, the Lord's altar, because wherever we set up to teach is an altar, because the priesthood has been opened up to you know, all 12 tribes. That's why the scriptures say what the veil has rent. Okay, the veil is rent. You see, when Yahweh Shai died, they set up the order of the priesthood of Melchizedek. That's why the veil was rent, okay, in the Holy of Holies, man. You see? So let's go back to it. You see, the Most High expects a particular standard from the priest. You see, everybody should be, everybody don't uphold to the standard that the Lord required, and then tithes were paid too. Okay? It says, and now I pray you, beseech the Most High, that he will be gracious unto us. This have been by your means. Will he regard your person, said the Lord of hosts. See, Jake wants the tithes, but Jake don't want to hold up to the standard. You see, Jake wants the tithes and offerings and titles and be looked up in a certain way. Okay? This is the NLT. Malachi 1 and 9 says, go ahead, beg. All right? It says, go ahead, beg the Most High to be merciful to you. But when you bring that kind of offering, why should he show you any favor at all? Ask the Lord of the heaven's armies. Jake, do what they want to do, say what they want to do, no fear. Okay? But they want all the perks and the blessings that come, okay, with particular offices, man. You see? Jake a slander. Hell, Jake, these guys done caused brothers to lose businesses, man. No one talks about that part, man. You see, these brothers, hey, these men have did some wickedness. A lot of these men are sold out, okay, but they still want the perks. They want the 501c3 benefits and the benefits from, okay, the tithes, man. You know, Malachi 1 and 10 said, who is there among you that would shut the doors for naught? Neither do you kindle, it said, neither do you kindle fire on my altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, said the Lord of hosts, neither will I accept any offering at your hands. Okay? So the Lord is rejecting, he rejected the priests during this time frame, just as he's rejecting a lot of men that know they're Israelites, okay, that want to hold all these offices. They're being rejected, man. Okay, and see, this was right. This was about 400 years, 400 and some change before Yahushua, because Yahushua was coming to what, establish another priesthood. Okay, you see, but the Most High was all over Jake, man. Okay, when you go to the next chapter, okay, this is Matthew 2 and 1. That's why I say priests are to be disciplined. This is Malachi 2 and 1. It says, and now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart to give glory unto my name, said the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yeah, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart. See, because it's going to come a time where money is not even going to be a factor. It's going to be about, just like Onias, okay, it was about what? Favor from on high, mercy and aid from on high. So there's gonna come a time where all this money that's coming in is not gonna matter. Okay, it's gonna be about who the Lord's gonna have favor on, man. And all these blessings that this money that coming in, and oh, we blessed and we highly favored. You know, when money is irrelevant, it's gonna be about, okay, your righteousness, man. Okay, who you are, your favor, your relationship with Yahweh Shem Al Shai. Okay, he said, behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feast, and one shall take you away with it, and ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, said the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me, and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was found in his lips. Okay? And iniquity was not found in his lips, and that's when the priesthood was righteous. He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity. Okay? Turn many away from iniquity, man. Okay? How can you do that still calling on Christ, man? Okay? Still getting crispy lineups. You see? It said, for the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law in his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts, the mediator. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said the Lord of hosts. Okay? Because here it is, you will say it's all about the law. Okay? But you allow men with long hair and lineups, man. Okay? Which we know through the law we're not saved. Okay? But there's a standard that we should have, man. Okay? Telling, women to leave their husbands. And you see? That's unrighteous, man. you know? That's not the standard of the priest, man. Okay? So we keep reading. It says, read verse 8 again. It said, but ye are departed out of the way. You have caused many to stumble at the law. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said the Lord of hosts. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as you have not kept my laws, but have been partial. Okay? All right? But have been partial in the law. You see? So Moses said, I'm going to make you contemptible. Let's get that in NLT. It said, so I have made you despised and humiliated in the eyes of all the people, for you have not obeyed me, but have shown favoritism in the way you carry out my instructions. And that's why you seen what? This big march for who? Kyrie Irving. That's respect of person. That's being partial of a guy that don't even believe. A guy that don't even believe. Why is there so much, attention being put on this guy? Because he has resources. They trying to, secure them resources, man. Okay, that's what it's about. Jake want to secure them resources, man. You see, Jake trying to use that priestly office for gain, and that's what Jake was doing during the time of Maccabees with Jason. Okay, you can read about that, Second Maccabees 4. You can read that. All right, during the time of Caiaphas, the high priest. Okay, they used that office for gain. Okay, but they wasn't living up to their standard. You see, so that's why. Let's go here. Now let's go to how the Apostle Paul was dealing. Okay, was Apostle Paul? He knew the law. He understood the law when it came to tithes, but he moved in a particular way. Okay, I believe that's 2 Thessalonians 3. I started at 1 and read down. 2 Thessalonians 3 and 1 said, finally, brethren, pray for us that the word of the Lord may have free course and be glorified, even as it is with you, and that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked man. For all men have not the faith, but the Lord is faithful, who will establish you and keep you from evil. And we have confidence in the Lord touching you, that ye both do and will do the things, all right, which we command you. And the Lord direct your hearts in the love of the Most High and in the patient waiting for Hamashiach. Okay? Now we command you, brethren, in the name of the Lord Yahushua, that you will draw yourself from every brother that walketh disorderly. So the apostle was warning the church about wicked niggas, man. Okay? And the men that were trying to misuse, the office of teachers and prophets, man. Okay? It says, and not after the tradition which, all right, he received of us. Okay, men that will go out the way, that didn't hold up to the standard. Okay, it said, for yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we behave not ourselves disorderly among you, neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you. So the apostle Paul was like, look, we wasn't around you just mooching. Okay. Look, we all right, we work for our own things, see, because it's different now. See, we in the times where we're in a different situation. Okay, we don't have sovereignty. Okay, we don't have the resources that we once had. So the men that are teaching can't lean on the congregation so hard like the priest was able to. Okay, because they had abundance. Okay, now brothers have to go work and do what they got to do. Now, ties do help, and it take pressure off, certain situations. You know, brothers have been able to help get phone fixed, laptops, and you know, uh, 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 brothers been able to, use money from ties to travel. Okay, go see other brothers. Is very helpful, you know. But the whole burden of taking care of all the teachers that are teaching now, the men, this spiritual priesthood, okay, this new priesthood, okay, that burden is not on the whole congregation like that, man. Okay, it said this 2 Thessalonians 3:8 said, neither did we eat any man's bread for naught. Oh, let me see if they got that. If the NLT, okay, this is the NLT. It says we never accepted food from anyone without paying for it. We worked hard day and night so we would not be a burden to any of you. Yeah, because Apostle Paul was a tent maker. Okay, pretty much like construction. You see, you know, it said not because we have not power. So Apostle Paul, it ain't because we don't have the power to, we don't have that authority, that right to receive, you know, goods from you. Okay. It said, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us, they were setting an example. Look, it's not about us coming around y'all and being put up and set up. That ain't what that's about. And see, Apostle Ariamla was the first apostle to come down here, that I was able to be around. And his example around us, he was giving. He cooked for brothers. He will pay for particular things. You see, now we was taking care of him as well. But it wasn't no one way thing. But he just come down here and just put all the weight on the brothers. Which even if he wanted to do that, he could. You see, but he was an example of it ain't about all that. When the pastoral car come, you know, a pastoral car, he would pay for brothers in particular things, man. You know, he would show us how to tip. Pastoral car was big on tipping when you go out. Because he said, El Pastor Har, said, look, we gonna do the opposite whatever niggas do, because niggas are known for not tipping, you know. So Apostle Kai, he was telling us about that, but they was examples to us while they was around us, man. So we'll know that this thing ain't about, okay, trying to use the congregation to be comfortable, man. It helps, the water to everything for everything that you brothers and you sisters do, man. It's a help, all right? But it ain't about being comfortable off the tights, man. You see? It says, for even when we were with you, this we commanded you that if any would not work, neither should he eat. Okay? If you don't work, you don't eat. That's where this saying comes from, man. Okay? Yeah, we know what position we in, man. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever, and do what we gotta do, man. Work however long we gotta work to get, and then still have to care for the church, and that's just the circumstances we in right now. you know, but it is what it is. And see, we never seen the apostles beg for money or have super chats and Patreons. We see the apostles do that. We don't do that, you know. Or if a brother asks for something, it's the way you do it. Okay? Well, for the most part, we never seen the apostles do that, so we don't do that, man. All right, now let's get this and I believe it's First Corinthians. All right, so when you go to First Corinthians 9, all right, now you had this thing amongst the people coming in. Then you had a lot of people want to discredit Paul, and they say, well, he's not an apostle. He shouldn't have this authority. And, why he got this authority? He wasn't with Peter and them when they walked with Yahushua. So Apostle Paul is addressing particular things in this chapter. Okay, this is First Corinthians 9:1. It says, "Am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Yahushua our Lord?" Okay, an apostle means sent forth. So wasn't Apostle Paul sent forth? Okay, then wasn't he free through the doctrine, the gospel? Okay, did he not see Yahushua? Okay, it says, "Are not ye my work in the Lord?" Okay, it says, "If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you." Okay, the apostle Paul was like, "Look, I'm not worried about this whole thing of me being an apostle or not. All right, but yeah, doubtless I am to you, because what he was sent forth unto the Israelite foreigners. That was his office. Okay, it says, "For the seal of mine apostleship are ye in the Lord." Okay, so he was like, "Look, the seal of my apostleship are ye in the Lord," which is your belief and your understanding that you develop from my labors through the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's my apostleship. That's my seal. That's my token. You know, and you brothers and sisters that are being built up, that's the reward. Okay, we don't need the best wines and the best oils and the tenth of everything that you have. Okay, you being built up, the body being built up, the believers being built up, that's the reward. You see, that's the seal of the apostleship. You know, it says, "My answer to them that do examine me is this: Have not have we not power to eat and drink? Have we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles, and as the brethren of the Lord, and Cephas, which is Peter?" So Apostle Paul, like, we could parlay. We could have money coming in from everywhere. Okay, if we wanted to do that, you see, it could be taken. Just we can take wives and have women with us. We can do these things, man. You see, but it wasn't about that, man. Okay, every brother got their own portion. However they move, as long as it's within the standard that has been set. It says, "Or I only and Barnabas have we not power to forbear working?" Like the Apostle Paul, like, I wanted to start working and just live off the church. That's within, you know, that's within the authority that was given. You know, it says, "Or who goeth a warfare at any time at his own charges." Okay, so who go on a war campaign? Like, if the American military is sent on the war campaign, all right, in Ukraine, who's going to pay for that? Are not the taxes going to pay for that from the people of the nation? Are those troops going to pay out of pocket to go on that war campaign? You see, because you go into it. Let's see. This is First Corinthians 9:7. It said, "What soldier has to pay his own expenses What farmer plants a vineyard and doesn't have the right to eat some of its fruits? What shepherd cares for a flock of sheep and isn't allowed to drink some of the milk? Okay, so as a laborer, okay, you're entitled to particular things. Okay, as a laborer, you're entitled to particular things, man. Okay, because I know when I used to, yeah, I used to eat them fat. When I used to work at them fast food restaurants, they tell her you can't eat back there. Shit, you ain't nowhere I'm finna cook all the goddamn food for 8 hours. See, I'm finna eat some nuggets, strips. Goddamn it, you crazy. And I'm gonna get the first fruits. I'm gonna get the freshest. You crazy. All right, I'm back here laboring, sweating. All right, getting this little check. Okay, shit. You know. Oh boy. This First Corinthians 9:7 said, "Who goeth a wherefore at any time at his own charges? Who planted the vineyard and eateth not the fruit thereof, or who feedeth the flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock? Say I these things of man, or saith the law the same also?" And this is actual law. It said, "For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of an ox that treadeth the corn." Because when you have your ox out there, treading, the corn, okay, sometimes the ox will eat, the corn as he would tread it. And it was a law because, see, you had heathens, they would muzzle, the ox, okay, so they can reap all the crop, so they were working the ox, okay, all the, this whole field, this ox had to, tread and work, but he wasn't allowed to partake in nothing. His mouth was muzzled, okay. But for us, the ox was allowed to eat, while he's doing this laborious work, because you still gonna have plenty, for your harvest. You're not gonna miss that little bit that he eating, while he while he working. Okay. And it says, reading it again, it said, "For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of an ox that treadeth out of the corn. Doth the Most High take care for oxen?" Because the Most High set that up. He made provision for the oxen because it was working. That was some laborious work, man. Okay, it says, "Oh, said he it all together for our sakes." Okay, for our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he that plow shall plow in hope, and he that threshes in hope should be partaker of his hope. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we reap your carnal things? Okay, so you have men that are laboring. And when you look into the apostles and elders, they had to labor for the internet. They had to really go into those libraries and labor. Okay, so all the work that those men put in through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, their elders before them, all the work that they put in setting the foundation to where we pretty much was able to just come in and just take off. Okay, those men don't deserve a dollar or two. Jake, I ain't tied to them niggas. They gonna use my money, all right, But hey, it is what it is, you know. Jake B ain't tied to them, man. They, especially they hear something that offend them. That's why I ain't giving them nothing. But the Lord gonna take care of me regardless, man. Whether the church give $1 or 100,000, man, the church gonna be, the body gonna be good, brothers gonna be good, man. Why we make no big fuss about that, man. you know. And I said, if we have sown into you spiritual things, okay, you're being taught things that lead to salvation. Okay. So if you decide to tithe, come on, how can you balance that out? you know, it says, if others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather? So I say, because people be donating to bug outs, man. Okay, people be tied to straight bug outs, man. JB off. Okay, So Apostle Paul, like, if other people exercise this power, are we not the rebel? Who really should be getting it? You know. Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, least we should hinder the gospel of Yahushua. Yeah, we not no burden. Like every time you click on the video, the live stream, it's a super chat, it's a Patreon. Okay, you got Jake that got websites that you gotta have a subscription to get certain breakdowns, man. Okay, no, man, that's putting a hindrance on the gospel, man. Okay, if you convicted and you persuade to tie, cool, that's a great thing. You know, if you got this world's good, you got a little excess, it will be a wonderful thing to do that. You know, but we're not here just you know trying to guilt trip you or you know trying to be crafty and you know pat your pockets, man. It's about your how shot going forth, man. You know, we taken care of, man. We good. We got our daily bread. We'll we'll go from there. First Corinthians 9:13 said, "Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple, and they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar? Even so have the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel." And that he's going back to the Levitical priesthood. They was taken care of. Okay? But he goes here, verse 19, "But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things, that it should be done so, unto me." So I'm not telling you that, y'all, it's a shame, all y'all believers, and I'm still working. All these views I got, and I'm still working now. That's a shame, y'all. Y'all trying to guilt you. We don't even go into that, man. Okay? It said, "For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glory in void." Okay? Verse 16 said, "For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid up upon me." Okay? Which what? It's a requirement. Okay? Let's get that in NLT. It says, "It lay upon me." Yeah, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. Because you go into necessity. Okay? It says necessity imposed either by the circumstances or by law of duty regarding to one's, all right, uh, advantage, custom, or argument. Okay? Law of duty. Just like the priesthood had what? A law of duty. Okay? Let's see. Get the NLT. It said, "Yet," 2 Corinthians 9:16 said, "Yet preaching the good news is not something I can boast about. I am compelled by the Most High to do it. How terrible for me if I didn't preach the good news." Okay? We still have an office, rather. And then you had them Jakes, crying, dealing with that guy, Yahweh the Maccabees, saying, "Man, y'all done stop the word." How we stop the word? Just because you not able to pray upon the church, okay? So you mean to tell me when the money stop, you stop? Okay, the Apostle Paul, like, look, I have a necessity, like, I'm in the Most High, kill my ass if I don't do this, man. Okay, well, whether we in the mansion or in the one bedroom apartment, man, the word gotta go forth, man. Okay, whether we eating steaks, okay, or noodles, man, the word still gotta go forth, man. It said, "For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward." You see, we're gonna get rewarded with so much on the backside, man. And the Lord makes provision for us now. He had what we need. Okay? It said, "But if against my will a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. Okay, which is office. All right, you go to dispensation. Okay, and the Greek word is
Strong's G 3622, oikonomia. Oikonomia.
all right. And what it says that the management of a household affairs, specifically to manage, the oversight, the administration of others' property, because this is Yahweh Shai's sheep, okay, that we're managing, that we have the stewardship over, okay, the office of a manager or overseer, stewardship. You see, and it says, "For if I do these things willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel, okay, which is the office, is committed unto me. What is my reward then? Verily, that when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Yahweh Shah without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel." And Jake want to abuse that power. That's why Jake is trying to, trim his way to get celebrities to tithe. Okay, and Jake got men out there marching just so he can secure them tithes from celebrities. Okay, it said, "For though I be free from all men, okay, yet have I made myself a servant to all, that I might gain the more." Because this is a service. Okay, because who is the temple now? Okay, we the temple. We have the duty, just as the ancient priests would have to keep the incense burning, you know, because you look at it, there's always a video going up, a scream going on. That's that continual incense burning that had to be done in the temple. There was somebody's job was to keep the incense going, you know, keep those smells going. You see, to change out the showbread, okay, for fresh bread to come out, just like these fresh videos come out, man. You see, we're performing the office of the priest, okay? It's in another fashion, but it's the office of the priest, man. Okay, and it says, and then two, the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. Apostle Paul was versatile because he was raised up a Pharisee, but he was a Roman citizen as well. So he understood both cultures. To them that are without the law is without law, being not without the law of the Most High, but under the law of Yahushua, that I might gain them that are without the law. Okay? So the Apostle Paul knew, okay, he had an approach for those that were with the law and those that were without the law. Okay? It says, "To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak." All right? Because if he was someone who was of a lowly status, you know, he came to them in a lowly way. All right? Because, Apostle Paul was around the governors and the kings and the chief priests. Like, he was around, all right, some noble men. Okay? But when he was around those of a lowly, someone that was probably just a laborer, or even a servant under another man, you know, he would come down to that level. He didn't look down on them, man. Okay? All right. I said, "I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you." Okay. So Apostle Paul, like, I want to enjoy the fruits of of my labor. Okay. But but it's more so in the kingdom, not the right now. Okay, we're not trying to be millionaires and off the gospel, man. Okay, we're here for deliverance, and those that are here to be delivered, the believers that are here to be delivered, man. Okay, so uh, uh, that's pretty much the point. I said, I ain't expect for it to be this long, but that's how it be. But yep, as the brother put, this is the brother hopeful election 12 tribes. Proverbs 23 and 23 said, "Buy the truth and sell it not, also wisdom and instruction and understanding." You know, and we purchase this truth. The Lord has predestined us to have it, and we labor, okay, to be skillful in this truth, and we sell it not, because it was freely given unto us, man. you know. So that was a point, Lord will you brothers, and you few sisters were edified, as we get an understanding of tithing and priestly responsibilities, man. And if there's any questions about anything, feel free to leave the question on the comment board, when the video goes up. we'll deal, man. This is not to get trip anybody into tithing or, we out here extorting you in any type of way. you know, our reward is your growth. That's the reward. You know, so Lord will you brothers, a few sisters edified. Till next time I say shalom. Kwame Yashala Bible Ball DTA soon. Shalom.